Welcome to Ask a Puppy Trainer Show. This is where we answer all of your questions about puppyhood. I'm Bethany.
And I'm Sparky from the Puppy Academy. We're excited you're here. And now, let's get to the show.
Welcome to Ask a Puppy Trainer Show. I'm Bethany. This is Sparky. This is Chewbacca, obviously.
Or
Chewy. Oh my gosh. He's so cute.
And we're on episode 218.
218.
Woo!
All right, everybody, please ask your questions below. Include the age and breed or breed mix of your dog, please, because it makes a huge friggin' difference.
It does. Change their whole advice for you. And also, if we answer your question here or answering the question on screen, he's just going for my elbow.
Yeah.
All right, we answer your question on screen. Send a follow-up if you have a follow-up question.
Yes,
we
please.
like the back and forth. It feels a lot more personal.
Yep.
We will prioritize your questions.
Yep.
Okay, we got one send-in. That girl, Jennifer, just started to crate train her 8-month-old puppy. Have only been crating her while home for 1.5 hours. My husband has been putting the puppy and one of our other dogs out with her during the day while at work with food and water until we can get the puppy used to being in the crate with the door closed. She will go in the crate willingly, but nervous to have her unsupervised in the crate. I don't see a question mark or a question.
Hang on. Let me think about this. Let's see. She'll go in the crate willingly, but nervous to have her unsupervised in the crate. Well, obviously, read between the lines.
No,
But
I'm a man. I need
she's
a question mark.
nervous. She's nervous when unsupervised in the crate. So it's just, it's an 8-month-old puppy, unless you admit 8 weeks. That's a long time. A really long time to already have a pre-existing habit and then try to change that. Now, I do think you should try to change that. I think every dog, there's always exceptions, but if possible, every dog should be trained to be able to be in a kennel because there are potentially going to be many times in the dog's life they're going to need to be kenneled. Even if you wean off of that, they'll have an association with it. Okay. That's not really for Jennifer. It's just like in general, how we kind of look at things. All right. So if your dog is insecure in the crate, let's just make sure you're not giving affection 20 minutes before you put the dog away. And she's trying to get you to Chewy know you.
She's nervous. The owner is nervous to put her in the crate.
No, she'll go in crate willingly, but nervous to have her
Thank you.
Okay, anyway, I'm going to keep on with what I was keeping on with, and then we'll go to the human nervous.
I've never met this dog before, so.
Okay, well, he likes
My
you.
arm just tastes salty. It's
likes
lotion. I
you.
put lotion on.
I was thinking, do you have like the tallow lotion? Because our dogs like lick happy enough to almost knock her down when we put
tattoos look fresh.
when we put the tallow lotion on her. Oh my God. The other night, Chris was like, "Oh, Dusty's licking Evie." I'm like, "No, it's
That's
just the lotion."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Oh, I thought it was sweet." All right.
No, Dusty's not sweet. He's loyal.
No.
He's loyal.
He's loyal. He's not sweet. And he avoids Evie like a plague. Like it's like a game in the house. Okay. Anyway, sorry. We both have ADHD today for different reasons. Okay. So, anyway, let's make sure there's no affection 20 minutes before and 20 minutes after letting your dog out if you're having some nervousness in crate, because we want to make sure we're not babying and nurturing that. And then I also would, do some crate patterning, which is just really boring. You can still use food, but you're boring about it. And you do like the same monotonous routine over and over and over again, even with a puppy. This is 8 months old. It's an adolescent puppy, but still. So the dog is on leash and we say house. So you're like house, pause. Dog doesn't sit down. Good. Piece of food, pause. Move your body out of the way. If they try to get out, shut your body in. Use blocking with your legs. If the dog is too pushy, swing the door closed. Okay? And you're not slamming it on the dog. Don't get a little paw. That's not what I'm talking about. Like, you can be a little more gentle than that if the dog...
Supposed to close it and make them back off a little bit.
If the dog is already out part of the way, you can just let him come out, turn around, and do a better job next time.
Better.
But you just say, let's go, pause, open your body up. Dog does not come out of the open door. Let's go. Nice, calm. This is my tone. Let's go. Turn, sit. Unless the dog is really anxious, then forget the sit. Just try to do a pause, loose leash, house. Use food for down. You can use food for house, but just keep it really calm and low key. Not for 8 months old though. All right. If it's true what you said, do you have anything to tell her? If our interpretation is she's nervous?
If you're not home, you're probably nervous to get a potty accident in the crate. That's what I'm assuming you're worried about. What we've done in other situations, your dog's a little bit older, so it might jump over a playpen or something like that. But basically what we've done with other situations is there's a large playpen, there's a crate, and then in the playpen, there's like a little, like a potty pad, a couple toys out there. So there's stuff for her to do. You're basically making like a little mini room for her. Yeah. But if this is a bigger dog, 8 months, already learning how to jump over stuff so she can jump over the pen, that probably won't work out for you. Some people, if like you live not in California, you probably have an extra room or something. You could actually convert a room into like a bit of a spot for the dog. So like we've had people do that before. If they don't trust them to be outside, because that's where dogs can get hurt. They can pick up weeds. They can eat things that can twist around their intestines.
Or in the main part of the house. Yeah, pillows, like, chip bags, things like that.
Pillow, when they tear that like outer lining that gives like the pillow like some like class to it, that outer lining, if they swallow it, can wrap their intestines. There's hundreds of things in your home that could hurt your dog. So I'm basically just telling you, puppy-proof an area for your dog. You can even do outdoor with an outdoor kennel like those.
Yes, you could do an outdoor kennel if you live in an area where that's appropriate. But I mean, honestly, even if, we're done. We're getting the little, that's
you didn't let me lick Sparky's elbow.
That's what you sound like. That's what you sound like, Chewy. You've done good though. You made it a whole few minutes.
You did really good.
And you're brand new.
Day two, guys.
I'm more anxious to leave a dog unsupervised outside of crate. So I'm wondering if you've got, it could be the potty thing like he mentioned, or, but I'd rather them potty in crate than outside of crate.
I'd rather them potty inside crate than outside of crate, but I also understand the concept of everyone that I've ever met is like, no, dogs do not pee where they eat or sleep. And if they start, they're screwed up and jacked up.
No, they absolutely do. It's
they do all the time. That's actually how dogs get weaned off of peeing on themselves. The mother actually licks the urine off of them in the whelping box. So it's all part of the process. They absolutely pee on themselves in the beginning.
I would also say that if you're worried about, like if you have a wire crate and you're worried about a collar or something like that, I mean, take all gear off of the dog and then keep everything away from the dog on the floor. So, I mean, dogs will reach, if they're anxious, they'll rip up carpet and they'll do that anyway, but then you put them in a crate and they'll still reach out of the crate.
I'll never forget Oreo. She could reach her paw through, hook a nail on the like tag with her name on it behind the crate, 6 inches behind the crate.
The tag we have.
Lifted the tag up with one finger and then looped her tongue and sucked it into the crate. It was ingenuitive. It's crazy. Dogs, when they're bored, they have 3-4 hours in that crate. They're going to find things to do.
Yeah.
You want to teach it as a training method first, and then their sleeping space second.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm not sure if we kind of helped.
I hope we answered your question.
I feel like we were just talking for a really long time.
But let's move on. Because there was no question mark.
Do you have a nice question?
Yeah, for some reason, it's not coming up on mine. Mine's like stalled. It says nobody is even on except for me.
From Monty Grove, it says, how do you help a puppy stop whining while in their play area? He's a miniature dachshund, 2 months and 13 days old.
How do you stop a miniature dachshund from whining in their play area?
At 2 months old.
At 2.5 months old. Sparky, would you like to take that one?
You don't.
You know? No, you don't. You don't got that one?
You don't.
Yeah,
you don't stop it. Whining is a form of communication for a lot of puppies. It's the yipping, the barking, and like the escalation that you can start doing something about. But for a 2-month-old, it's emotional immaturity.
Oh, he's forgetting part of this, which
What's the?
It's a miniature dachshund.
Well, yeah, and you're going to get that no matter what. In the last 8 years of working in a facility where we take dogs for 12 hours a day, dachshunds, minis especially, are the worst separation dogs I've ever seen in my entire career.
Recently. It's like a recent thing with
5, 6, 7 years.
breeding. I don't know if it's a popularity thing, because we've seen more anxious German Shepherds starting about 15 years ago. So I think it's a popularity thing. And so they get overbred. And now we have a lot of overly anxious miniature dachshunds. I would say there's a couple of ways I would go with this. He's right. You don't stop it, but let's make sure you, especially because you're on here. Yeah. So we want to give you some extra attention. Let's make sure that you're not feeding into it, and feel free, to respond to things we say if you have any follow up or if we're totally wrong or something like that. And then we'll get to you tickety talk, after this. So, to start with, let's go after the making sure that you don't feed into it. For me, I would not ever take that dog out of the pen, even at 8 8.5 or 9.5 weeks old, unless they back off and sit and settle. And then I'm reaching down. So I reach down, the dog jumps up again. I'm just going to go no. Or if you've said a bunch of no's, just don't say anything. Just stand up. You have a very calm, authoritative energy. Think of yourself like a teacher, okay? Trying to calm down a class of 30 out of control Sparkies, okay? That is where the brain is at, okay?
That's where my brain's at today.
And so, anyway, that's what you're trying to do. And it might take you 15 times. I would rather you not use food for this, but you can if you want, if you need a little leverage.
Food adds stimulation adds energy. It might take a little bit longer.
The reward is you picking the dog up. That's kind of where our mind is. I have met a few dogs that I have had used food for, or I was going to be there all day, but that is because the anxiety had been so overly nurtured. I had to have more leverage. Another thing that I like to do, if the dog physically touches the fence, I will grab the fence and just make a little noise with it. I'll just pick it up like, boop. Oh, that didn't do a very good job. Like, just, hey. And so I'm not going to push it into the dog
up
yet.
Up a quarter inch, up, down.
Boop.
Just that. That's it.
Boop, boop. That's it.
Just makes a little noise.
Now, if I've got like a German Shepherd on the other side or a Retriever that's jumping on the fence and about to knock it down, I will actually physically move the fence into the dog for spatial pressure. You don't have to worry about that on the dog's end. They'll be like, and then they'll fall over. So, you don't have to do...
One more time?
No. It's a one time thing. Much more animated now that I have a 2-year-old, I have to say. Like, there's a lot more.
Your examples are a lot more animated.
Yeah, it's because that's what if I'm not here, that's what I'm doing the whole rest of my day with my 2-year-old little girl. It's definitely, remember I told you about the appointment where I went, the birds. I did that on a training appointment with a client. And they have a prey-driven dog. And I was like, when the birds, and I couldn't think of fly away. So I went,
surprised the dog didn't try to bite your hand.
And then I was like,
with the bird.
I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. You guys don't have kids yet. You don't understand. Okay. Anyway, moving on. So I feel like your brain
You hear how Ricky's laughing because she has a kid and I'm like awkward laughing because I don't?
Yeah, she knows exactly what I'm talking about. You definitely become a silly person when you have a child, even if you weren't before. Okay, so that's what we want to make sure that we're doing, and we're not babying the dog 15 minutes or so when you first, brought him out of that playpen. That would be one of the things that I would do. If I was getting escalation with such a young dog, I might just try a pet corrector noise. I might even make it with my voice, just, it just blows out air and makes a noise, and just like, knock it off, and be quiet and see what happens. See if the escalation whining goes to the pitiful, whining that you just ignore. And so it's just about making choices. I would just make sure I would do some deep diving into how to prevent separation anxiety in dogs and do all those things on the balance side, on the positive reinforcement side, do all the things because we're pretty consistent when it comes to that stuff. Do all of those things. And oh my God, we have an online school for your age of puppies, actually. So if you don't have a program and a schedule set up for your dog during the day, and that's something you'd be interested in, please check out the puppyacademy.com, and there'll be a big online thing, and click it and you see all the goods. And we can help you we actually help people one-on-one with that. It's not just a no-face, online school that you sign up for. You get to talk to us every week. And that was it.
Regiment your free time out of the crate. Regiment how you use it, how much affection you're giving when you train, be consistent.
Yeah.
If there's 3 breaks in a row coming out of the crate and you're not doing training for 2 of those 3, even for 5-10 minutes, just something to kind of take the edge off that energy, you're going to get the whininess because it's anxiety. It's just, if a dog doesn't have anything to do with it, they're bored. When they get bored for long enough, they start exploring and looking.
Yeah.
And they look long enough, well, they find something that's valuable to them, and usually valuable to you guys too.
Yeah, valuable to you guys too. I repeated that because you whispered it. I doubt they caught it.
These mics are good.
They're not that good. They're not your voice is lower, so it's not as annoying as mine. It doesn't carry sometimes when you whisper. Trust me, I listen to these back and I'm like, oh, that's what I sound like. Bleh. And then sometimes you can't hear. You just can't hear you sometimes.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Okay, one more quick thing. And it happens to be in our online school in class 1 or 2. One of my favorite things, and when I hear that somebody has a go to ground dog that lives in the home. So if you got any terriers, if you've got any, wiener dogs, this is so good. It's good for everybody, but it's good for you. In one of the classes that I do, because Sparky wanted none of it, is over, under, through. And so you're finding things in your house, in your home, where you help your dog go over it, go under it, go through. And what do you think a dachshund wants to do? Even your, deluded house whiny mini dachshund still would like to go underground and find something to, maybe he doesn't want to kill it, but he wants to play with it at least. It's a little diluted out, right? And so you want to still tap into those instincts to mentally challenge your dog. And so save a bunch of Amazon boxes and create some tunnels, and they can go over some stuff. They can jump in some stuff for food. And then you can create, it's really easy. You just, get rid of 2 flaps and make your own tunnel and have them go under. And then there's all kinds of other suggestions on our online school. And yeah, so that's something else just to really tap into your specific breed.
Also, once in a while, if you have a small breed dog, you can find, you do have a small breed dog, especially a go-to-ground dog. If you go to the cat section at Petco, PetSmart, Sentinella, somewhere around there, you could find these fluffy tunnels that fold out. They're not the dog ones, so they're not super big and they're nicer plushy material. I found that most wiener dogs actually end up hollowing it out of all the toys that are inside of it, and they make it their bed. It makes them feel safe.
They expensive though?
No, they're $15. They're cheap. They're
that's not bad.
$12. They're cheap as dirt.
That's not bad. Okay. She said back, great, thank you. I did let him whine for a bit and then he got tired. That's a good sign. Hopefully you don't have one of
able to get tired.
Yeah, hopefully honestly, for us, it's 4-month-old dachshund can whine for 4 hours straight in crate or playpen. I'm right there. What do I do? And so it's very good that he gives up and settles down. If that's where you're living, keep living there. It's when you get what he first talked about to full circle back, when you get the escalation whining, you feel it escalating, that you're going to have to start addressing it a little bit. And I think you will get some of that as he gets older, but this is a great sign that you might not have a genetically predisposed mess. Sorry.
How wonderful.
I
have questions.
We're very jaded. We're very jaded. And she said, 10 minutes, now he's calm, taking a nap. Perfect. Thank you. And you've got stuff.
Meg, I didn't get the first part of your question. If you want to resend me the first part.
TikTok.
Meg, I didn't get the first part of your question. If you want to resend me the first part, all I have is there something more I need to do? Going back to Courtney.
Well, Ricky can, you want to do Courtney? Okay.
Yeah. Well, because I have people for her. If she can just resend the first part, that'd be great.
Okay.
Courtney, how to stop a 7-month-old lab from barking whenever someone leaves the room while in the kennel. I'm guessing your kennel is probably in the living room. That's a very, very high stimulation environment for a dog to be in, and being able to settle there is very difficult for them. So I personally wouldn't put the crate in the kennel. If that's where the crate is and your dog's barking, they're probably carrying on because they're already overstimulated. So I'm going to go from 2 places. I'll pretend like it's in the bedroom and I'll pretend like it's in the living room. I'll go living room first. Dogs in the crate in the living room, it's really difficult for them to go into REM sleep and actually fully relax and settle, because they kind of always are hanging on the energy of whoever's in that room. If there's conversation, they could have been halfway asleep. The minute someone starts talking, it's eyes open, heads looking, and they're never fully relaxing and settling. So if they're barking in the living room, I think you need to move that crate to the bedroom. Now let's talk about the bedroom. So I just put the dog in the crate. They're heavily overstimulated. They're barking when I start leaving the room. I need to do some training associated with that crate. Crate shouldn't just be hours and hours and hours. It's a routine. It's a command. House is what we call it, which means go in the crate, pause for a second, sit if you're able to.
On leash.
Thank you. On leash, sit if you're able to, get a treat, and then get released. So when we're teaching that, if my dog is really, really struggling to stay in the crate, but loves to come out, I'm actually not going to give the reward for them coming out. I reward them when they go in. The reward for coming out is coming out. So this is the routine I would do. It's basically dog goes in the crate. I toss a treat in or lure if they're able to follow it. If they don't, it's fine. One arm is on the harness or the flat collar to kind of direct where their body is going to face. Hand is kind of under the bum if it's a small dog. Forearm and bicep is under the bum if it's a big dog. And you do kind of a rocking motion. Scoot over.
Wait, she doesn't have any trouble getting her dog in the crate.
It's just the barking. Well, I think there's also resilience when she opens the door. If that dog's barking, it's bolting out of the crate. You know what we've
talked about, answering questions that people aren't asking.
I guarantee you that dog is bolting out of the crate when you open the door, so I'm answering it. You're going to basically get the dog in, pause.
Apparently.
No, you're going to rock him in. Well, it's because you rushed me.
I'm sure he walks in.
Hopefully he does. If he doesn't, do the routine.
Once you get him in there,
pause, reward if he takes food, let him out calmly. He can't blast out of the crate full speed, and it's also one of my tells if he's actually relaxing or not. Then I'll put him back in. I'll do that about 5-10 times in a row. Close door, cover with the towel, put on a little white noise machine right by the crate, and I do a little sound machine by the bedroom door.
Yeah.
So there's like noise being drowned out. And then by the time I leave the room, I close the door. I'm probably still going to get barking, but it's going to be significantly less. One technique that I've also heard works really, really well is an interrupter. So like you could do a pet corrector sound. The dog's already in the crate. The blanket's been closed. You're waiting for the sound of the bark. And right when he does it, you're like on point with it. You do one spray. I personally wouldn't say no because I don't want to associate that sound with me. I'm just trying to create an interrupter to the noise. You want to add?
Yep.
That's my method.
So this is a 7-month-old dog. So I'm going to, that's been practicing this for quite some time. So I'm assuming. So I'm going to do the things that he said, but once I get a vibe for the dog, if it's pushing through all those things, because it's a little older, it's not a puppy, it's an adolescent puppy, and because it's been practicing these things for quite some time, I'm going to be a little bit more firm in my methods, and then my softer stuff, like he said, will then work. Okay, so I'm going to be the mean one. And so let's say that he's just not responding to the things that Sparky said. Not that it was wrong. I would try those things too to test the temperature of the dog's intensity.
I guarantee he's doing half of what I said already. Guarantee it.
Okay, so I would like you to find ways to build leverage with your dog. So let's say as soon as you start to walk away, your dog's barking their head off. You're going to come in. It's very matter of fact, kind of just like a confident authority, you know, not angry, not no, just like no nonsense. We're going to do this. You're going to open the crate. If he tries to blow out, because we didn't go over this because we kind of assume people do this, but I just want to real quick. If he tries to blow out, I'm going to shut the door firmly. And I'm not going to open the door fully and leash him up until he's backing away from the spatial pressure. Like I want this dog sensitive to spatial pressure. That's a whole nother conversation, but you can use the crate door for that. It works pretty effectively for 98% of the dogs. And so open it till he doesn't have to sit, especially if he's anxious and he's been barking. I'm not going to worry about that. I want to go after the brain. I do not want to put a Band-Aid on the brain with obedience with a 7-month-old. So follow me here. I'm just going to use the crate door for spatial pressure. He finally backs up where I can pick up the leash. He tries to blow out again. Shut door. Open it a couple inches. He stays back. I'm going to very quickly clip it on his flat collar. I would strongly suggest a martingale, cloth martingale for this dog. Chain martingale is more for training. Cloth, just trust me, it's better for like just a regular collar. Cool. All right. So clip that on. He's going to try to come out again. I'm going to use my body. But if I haven't practiced with my body language using place, which is a separate thing you should be doing to teach him to stay and you be able to walk away, just throwing that out there. Everything works together. I'm going to use crate door again. All right. Now I'm going to say, and this is after I left the room, dog barked. I came back in immediately just to make sure that picture's clear. I'm trying to find a way to build leverage, right? So then I'm going to say, let's go. And that dog is probably going to come out, jump on me, or pull towards the bedroom door or wherever you have it, right? I'm going to use that as leverage. If he jumps up on me, I'm going to bump into him, pressure, up, out, and away from, no. Pause. Dog tries again. Rinse and repeat. All right. Dog just blows towards the door. I'm just going to turn, put him right back in crate. Same with the jumping up on me. He relaxes. I'm going to calmly turn, put him right back in crate. I'm going to do it again. If he keeps charging the door, I'm going to try a little pet corrector squirt, or I'm going to try a side tug and release. Some people call it checking the leash. A nice way of saying it is tug. You could also call it a pop because it needs to be quick, crisp, and simple. It's just on a martingale. It's fine, okay? It's a lab. He'll be fine. We're not talking about the miniature dachshund here. We're talking about a lab. So, pop the leash, turn, back in crate. You're going to do this until that dog is calmly turning with you and is bored of the exercise. So this is how I just want, and it's back in crate, sit down. Once he calms down, start asking for your sitter down. So you're just layering on things as you go. This could be a 5 or 15 minute affair. Now you're going to close the crate, walk away. You still might get the barking. You're going to do it again. Except it's going to be a little bit faster. You're going to kind of get right to the point really quickly. Find a way to build leverage, knock it off, back in crate, unclip leash, walk away. Once you bring him down and you've worked through some of that energy, some of that anxiousness, the towel over the crate, the white noise machine, the pet corrector noise, the tapping the crate, hey, knock it off. Things like that, knocking on the door, like, hey, knock it off from the other room when he barks. Those types of like small little interrupters, they will start to help. But you might have to work the dog down first and have a little bit of a different relationship with the dog. And what I mean by that is be part of the process of not just saying, no, don't do this. Not just throwing food at the problem, but actually helping them calm down and building context for what it is that you're asking, for them to calm down around you and around thresholds, right? So anyway, that is just something that I would think about moving forward. And I have a question, like, can I go again?
He's in the living room though, so we'll definitely be trying to move him into the empty room.
You might get a week.
We'll use a prong collar on him for the pulling.
It shouldn't be a full week. Then use that when you go in and leash him up if the dog's already used to that. This shouldn't take a full week.
He doesn't bolt out until leash is on.
Perfect opportunity. Let him get out of the way, cause if you don't have time, to shut the crate, let him hit the end of the leash, turn around, right back in, do it till he's calmly doing circles with you. Let's go. Crate. Let's go. Crate down, pause. Open door, shut door. Let's go. Crate down, pause. That's what you're doing. What was I going to say? I was saying something. I'm sure it was whatever.
So important.
I know what I was saying. So you might have a few days of worse barking. No joke. That just happened to me.
As you get over the hump.
That just happened to me, and I felt so bad for the family. It kept the kids up all night, 2 nights in a row, and I had them tweak a few things and kind of go to the next step, which we're not there yet. With you, go try those things first and come back.
You got to work your way up to it.
Yeah, and then that finally helped. And then he just whined all night, the third night, and I finally got a message this morning. Finally, the kids got to sleep because it's an empty bedroom next to the kids' room because that's all they had. So we moved from the kitchen where he has horrible FOMO and proximity anxiety to the bedroom next. He's a smaller dog too. He's a small cattle dog mix. He was moving the crate.
Hopping it?
Yes.
I've seen it before.
Which he's never done before. I was like, I am so sorry. I was like, if you want to just put him back in the kitchen short term until I can come be hands-on with you, I understand. If you want to ride it out, if their kids are so great. They have no social media, no phones, no nothing. Their kids are amazing. They sat through a 2-hour appointment and worked their dog. In between the ages of 9 and 15, 3 children. It was awesome. Think about it. Anyway, it was 3 nights of even the kids not being able to sleep well, but they were all so in it. Otherwise, they don't get to keep this dog. Dad's going to get rid of them. That they pushed through and they finally had a night's sleep. I was like, yes. So anyway, it could get worse before it gets better. I think we're going to have to move on.
It probably will get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
First couple days.
Yeah, it can.
I'm curious to see what works first.
All right. I don't really let's see. I don't have anything quick.
I don't have anything quick. I got long stuff.
Yeah. All right, guys. We hopped on late, but it is late already. It's 1:35. Thank you for joining. I got to remind you guys, because we got a pouring in the last 15 minutes. We start at 1 o'clock Pacific. We're supposed to start at 1 o'clock Pacific.
So we were 6 minutes late today.
Pacific Standard Time. And so, set your dial, set your alarm so you can get on here and get a piece of this action fast. All right. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with me today. It's
that
you.
was weirdly sexual.
It's so you. It's so you. He had to take it there.
It was.
He had to take it there.
Okay, bye.
Bye. I was just trying to be fun and you had to be weird.
Thanks for tuning into Ask a Puppy Trainer Show.
We hope you found some advice that you can use to help make puppyhood a little easier.
Don't forget to join us live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time on Instagram or TikTok at The Puppy Academy.
This is where you can get a chance to ask your burning questions in real time. And if you want even more puppy guidance, visit our website at thepuppyacademy.com for info on joining our online puppy school.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider subscribing to our podcast and leaving us a review.
These reviews let more people find us and supports us on our mission to help as many puppy parents as possible around the globe.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.